our worldly life, you see that we are fully aware of the worldly skills, duties, and responsibilities in our life. When we are able to meet them, and we are more or less relatively happy with some concern and with some issues here and there that continues at more or less at the similar level. We have to ask ourselves that, am I meditating? Yes, I'm meditating regularly. So what exactly is the goal of result of meditation? If I say goal or the result. So the result and or the goal of meditation is that mind evolves, starts working at a higher level. Again, ask yourself, what is that higher level? In that higher state of the mind, there are no dualities. There are no pairs of opposites. There are no conflicts. Problem from the word come and go. Confusion, conflict in the mind come and go. But that higher plane of the mind lives in the state of what we say in Eastern wisdom as equanimity. To practically say that that mind is not dictated or influenced or governed by the challenges in the world and also the challenges uh, caused in the mind. But once, if we don't fix that goal in the result of any meditation or mindfulness, then we leave it. Okay, let us do practice every day for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour to relax. Someday we are relaxed, other day the meditation does not affect. Meditation is not a prescription pill. That needs to be understood. It is a journey where we awaken to ourselves the inner peace and happiness. So, when we talk of the goal or the result of any mindfulness or meditation, then we have also to understand who can achieve that goal. Who can drive the car, who has a driving license, who can cook the food, who is a best cook, who knows the permutation and combination of the spices, veggies, and other stuff. So it means we never think, it never comes to our mind that we have to be a seeker. Seeker is a qualified meditator. And if we are not a seeker, if we are not a driver, then we, even if we like to drive a car, we know few tips, we'll end up in trouble. The same thing happens if we are not a seeker. Now, see that seeker qualifies first before he practices any meditation. A seeker is one who prepares himself or herself for listening the principles attentively, spend some time for contemplation and reflection before the practice. So now there is a practice of half an hour. So we spend minimum 10 minutes before the start. What did I learn? What was that principle? How to apply that principle? A seeker is one who accomplishes the goal as taught to him through the practice. It is like a driver who drives home through the knowledge and the skills of driving. We need to understand that clearly once. Now question is, does it take a lot of time? No. During the personal, professional, social, family activities, our mind can be educated how to respond, not to react, how not to enter into the conflict through the principles. Similarly, the seeker acquires those skills in the knowledge to treat the path successfully. And the biggest statement I have always been talking, then all these principles helps us to understand the ups and downs, likes and dislikes, pain and pleasure, reaction that is coming from the world to my mind. So I educate my mind not to be affected. We educate our mind how to work on the mind with the specific principles and the practices. We don't allow the mind to work on ourselves at any cost, in any situation. So, what is the principle that needs to be applied to become a qualified seeker? The first principle is known as Viveka. Viveka in Sanskrit, if I translate it, it means discernment. It means reflecting in the mind what is real and what is not real. So, so further the master defines what is unreal. Anything that is changing, one. Anything that the mind knows in the tangible and also in the intangible world, which is changing, is unreal. Another understanding, which has a cause and effect relationship in the world. So, what the Viveka and discernment does, the moment I realize this is coming from the unreal world, I keep those thoughts and feelings and events. I don't allow them to touch my mind. I keep them at a bay, at a distance. And then I look at it. So, you know what happens? That Viveka, when it is applied, it becomes the second principle. What is that second principle? The dispassion. And if we don't follow this Viveka, the discernment and dispassion, what is going to happen? Then the thought, there is an influx of thought. Then what we complain? No, I sat in meditation and there were a lot of thoughts troubling me. And I don't understand why the thoughts trouble me when I sit for meditation. You see, we normally say, I don't understand. So here is an understanding. Here is an understanding. If we follow the first two principles known as discernment and dispassion. Second, the third principle, we can say that we should also reflect on kindness, humility, love for knowledge of reality. The more we reflect in our life, then what happens? Then we can awaken to six inner treasures. Like we have money as an outer wealth, so we have the inner wealth. The more you contemplate and reflect and practice on that, it increases. More and more you practice in your life, it increases. So the first treasure is known as sama. What is sama? The mind is 100% available to me. Whenever I ask the mind to pay attention and do this work, including meditation. In other way, we can say that mind is totally at peace. It is reflecting calmness and peace all the time in amid all the situations and conditions. Second, now the sense organs are not carried away by the objects in the world for seeking pleasure or for experiencing pain. That is known as Dhamma. Titiksha. Now, Uparati. Uparati is another third treasure in our. That these treasures are already inside. We are not awakened to it. The third treasure is known as Uparati. My master used to say, it looks very, it feels very good if you say in Hindi. So I will say in Hindi and I will try to translate in English. So my master used to say, Mast Ram Masti mein aag lage basti. So Mast Ram Masti mein, the first liner, it means that I am always living into that peace and happiness. Let whatever happen in the world outside, you take care of the problems and the challenges in the world, but you do not allow the mind to be influenced by that. Third treasure. The fourth is coming from the past impressions, challenges, physical challenges that we have. We have to do practice titiksha, a voluntary endurance. What is that endurance? Sometimes the problem comes, I don't know why my mind is upset, why mood is upset. I have got a lot of those thoughts and that becomes crazy. Hold on. Tell the mind, maintain the poise. Let these thoughts come and go. So we have to do voluntary endurance, conscious tolerance. Sometime, sometime our members of the family say something. Just have a big smile. Let them say what they say. Whatever they say, bad or good, it is not a certification to me and my life. So internally, I maintain that that is also known as the endurance. The fifth one is known as faith, belief. Belief in what? Belief in yourself. Edison failed in 1000 experiment and still he believed in himself and he is known as one of the great scientists of this century. See that? So these ups and downs will definitely enter into our life. That is the nature of the world. But what is belief? Belief in my true nature. Pending inquiry. I am into anxiety. Remember, recall. What is my true nature? Is permanent peace and happiness. But why I am into anxiety and reaction? Because I am not my mind fallen down from the discernment. So let me start practicing in my mind what is real and unreal. Anxiety, duality, and conflict are unreal. The moment even you start thinking in that way, you can find the result there and then. And the one pointedness and commitment to the journey of meditation helps us to reach to that state. These are few of the qualifications and the skill sets of being a qualified seeker on the path of meditation. Now let us start. Think of it. Think of this, contemplate and reflect every day. Now let us start our journey of meditation. Close your eyes.